Talon. They will have to play pick off and tempo. It's an interesting choice. It does kind of deal with Monkey King all right. I think you play with Axis. There's some dodge moments there for Mac. It's still a melee matchup for Monkey. Be mildly aware of for Natsumi's lane, but they are managing that lane well. The last lane down bot, of course. You've got Deuce and Disruptor up against that Bristleback and the Hoodwink. And as you mentioned, this is a little bit rougher for WS. You also kind of move up to level 4. Trying to lock in Jokan, but kind of missing out.
They missed on the grasp. With the grasp path connected, that most definitely would have been a dead Hoodwink. It's a dead Hoodwink anyways. Akashi though losing all of his mana, but he does have some angles to work with, and because that he will be surviving WS. Definitely wants some revenge for his fallen comrade. However, he is not tanky enough to run anybody down.
On up top, that it doesn't feel like you'll be seeing that anytime soon. So you really did have to be a bit more cautious early on. Buying all these regen out does give Natsumi quite a lot to play with. And we've always got pull control. I think that's a big part as well of that witness. You didn't manage to run down bot, but...
At what cost? It is going to be a 1-for-1, and Akashi is quite healthy while it's WS.
A little bit of a collapse up top, but the scan does find him trying to sneak in for that Shrine of Wisdom.
Oh, Talon going forward. We'll try to stop it from allowing that, but there's a lot of heroes. Nice usage of Tame the Beast, and there's gonna be a steal. Shrine of Wisdom. Oh, Cuckoo. Or actually, no steals. They didn't bring too many. Joakim is also gonna be in trouble. These supports are just not tanky enough for Talon, unfortunately.
Eventually, you'll have statics. So you have the Glimpse back, you have the Kinetic Fence down the line as well that can block off once you've got the value point. We'll try to get some control now into Mac.
Goes for the Wukong's Command. The extra armor might actually allow him to live. Cox also has the Ravage, so you have to run away from him, of course. They leave Wukong's Command. It's going to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, he's already low mana. Boundless Strike was used. Ravage as well. Max standing his ground. He needs those Jingu stacks to start healing up, and he will be doing so. Wukong's Command should be expiring fairly soon, and there it is. Somebody needs to help Mac. The Ice Path will not allow him to leave. Beautifully done, but the Jakiro does die in the process. Now looking towards Cox. He's in a little bit of trouble as well. Natsumi losing his refraction charge is very, very dangerous, but they're surrounded by traps. Natsumi setting those up earlier allows him to go for a very nice chase, and Ponyo doesn't look like he's gonna be getting away from this one. Natsumi gets a triple.
They have some options for the defense play if you do push the envelope here in Talon.
But you do want to use those spells aggressively, right? So things are not great. Fence gonna be put up. WS comes back. Does have that halberd. Softening him up. Now silenced up inside of that Disruptor. Static Storm coming into play quite strong. They will be able to take him out. Overestimating his abilities a bit there in the process.
Makes it feel very much like an RPG. As he will start to RPG their way into a large boss that is Roche, but they back off as the smoke comes in essence.
They still don't have that butterfly on Akashi. It's still super strong WS. So many times we've seen them go for him. Let's see how tanky he really is. Not tanky enough to survive that one. And with the blink, that's going to be a reveal from them. Some of them still inside of the Wukong's Command trying to go. That is a beautiful positioning for the Macropyre. And now you have to go through all of that damage if you want to fight this one. However, the Medusa standing inside of the Macropyre doesn't care. Mac, how?
Get some big openings for themselves. They try to chase down Mac a tad bit.
Yeah, look at bottom. I mean, the cores are killing the Roche, and then the rest of the three going for the Monkey King. He's not going to be escaping through this one, even with the shard. He is going to be taken out. There's too many slows between the three of them. Now WS is going to be slowed himself. Akashi talked about it. Has the butterfly. Bushwhack though to prevent his damage. And now Talon are going to be going forward. What are you going to do with all your ultis? WS says nothing. There will be a kinetic fence also pushed back by the repulsion. But with the glimpse, they need to take him away. Talon now going to be joining with their cores as well. Looking towards the Medusa, already losing half of her mana with the escape back. They're going to try to save him, but he's losing mana rapidly. However, he's also doing a massive amount of damage. Akashi is not somebody who can fight right now. Has half of his mana left. He's all alone. Him and the died without the Ravage. Doesn't really help all that much, but they're trying to remove his armor once again. Mikoto back to the land of the living after the Aegis has been taken. Thinking about going forward. Akashi with his Stone Gaze. Gonna be stunning him up. Now you have to think twice about it because the Monkey King will be back.
Talon almost always will have the advantage purely off that third eye. You know, it's that timing, and if they find this kill, it would be an even bigger advantage.
Nice sharpshooter there towards him. Dror is not back up just yet. Very nice position. Oh, they get the slow in as well. Dror gets used, but the escape act is there as well. Ice Path in the Macropyre with the Meg. They're gonna try to keep him alive. No. Bushwhack will be enough to take him out. Anya trying to find a target to glimpse back, but now they're going to be running towards him, and that's this where the Disruptor struggles. Very nice fence. They're not allowing Natsumi to get close. But this other one is just going to be used so that the rest of his team can survive. Bushwhack almost on the money, but the Medusa gets out.
And this is actually a game where you could have made an argument for undulation on Dusa just because you're playing into Bristle. Like, not being slowed down by all these blue stacks provides for Akashi to move himself in and out. Chase could block it down.
He's going to try to keep you away, and Stone Gaze was still going strong. He knows when he... So you are going to be going into an area that does being controlled by the other side of Akashi. Seeing Joe Kim breaking him as well. Forced Staff to run himself away. The scroll will find that. Maybe that's going the Silver Edge. He really doesn't feel that scared. Push back, use away. Staff is going to be careful. Nice glimpse. Static field, static storm. Static fence, rather, will be blocking out his way. Very nice usages overall coming out from this Disruptor.
They can't allow that to kind of just be handed over to Essence.
Moving to the bottom lane. That would be a good target to start it off on, but Bushwhack off the mark instantly. They will be going for the mid lane. Can Boundless Strike, he's dead. He had the Force Staff and the Ghost Scepter, neither of which will get used.
Self-suppress on is going to be nice. A basic Dispel to wash off that Q and do a lot of work.
They are going to be looking towards Cox, breaking him up. He escaped back just in time, so Ravage is still going to be there as a threat. That the Blade Mail sparring will be using the Disarm to use so they're going to pull him back with the Glimpse, just not allowing his Bristleback to live. Yusa, even without the mana, really not that big of a deal, but they're looking towards the Tide, or being used instantly. Flubber takes it off, but it is enough for them to get the kill. Both of the offlaners have been taken out. And
1-7 and 8 for the offlane as Natsumi's being collapsed on.
Want to stop his blink. They're not going to be allowing him there with the Ravage being used. He gets the Force Staff away. Couple of seconds, the Swift Blink will be available, and he gets himself up to the high ground. Joakim, very nice plays there to save his buddy. Now, can he save himself with the Scurry? He's speedy. Here comes Mac. Goes with the Glimpse. That is going to be a dead squirrel. Also in the backline, Mikoto going in, pops the BKB. He wants to go for the Ringmaster. He's going to be inside of the Wukong's command that he can leave in a second, and he blocks himself in with his own boards. There is a fence that you are not going to be able to go through. And that invasion from his definitely doesn't feel too good right now.
This time it should go a lot faster with the damage that you have on hand. Or is out to at least notify Talon, but again, without team fight options, can't really take it.
The two stopping this push. There is still a Ravage, but there's no BKB on WS. However, no static storms. Some things have been forced out. The good side break. So Maggie will be going onto the Tide. He hasn't broken as well. The escape back. He pushed him out of it too fast. He will be buying back. Going onto the outpost. That is deep. From the Beastmaster trying to escape. Mikoto is surrounded by his opponents, and that's for 90 Essence. They feel like this could be the end. Natsumi hasn't done anything in this fight, and they still have the Aegis, they still have the cheese. The Wheel of Wonder, it does turn around the Bristleback, but they do not care. They have more than enough damage to finish him off. Escape back, gonna be saving the Monkey King there, not allowing him to fall any lower. And the Jakiro will be next on the menu. The fence will not allow him to move, and that is the first lane of Rax. Akashi, he wants more.
He tickles. It's really doing nothing without all that money on him. Back.
And they go for the Ravage. They're going to be connecting onto the building. They want Natsumi first. Can they get him out? He doesn't have the blink, so he's going to have to stand his ground and fight versus this many heroes. It is just not going to work. Does buy back. And let's see if in this scenario 3 versus 5, when there's no Ravage, he can do something. Doesn't seem likely.
Not many options left. Half a minute until Mikado and WS are up. And even if they are up, what the hell are they going to do? Maybe take care of the Aegis.
They're going to lose the Hoodwink for that. Ice Bath, and Natsumi even replace Mac. In some trouble, not in enough trouble. Jakiro nowhere to go with the Overseal Totem. You cannot go to the kinetic fence. Also, the Static Storm was used. That might give an opening early on, but the Anchor, the PA. Here comes Akashi with the Blink. Ravage being used. Natsumi gets the BKB off just in time, and enough for him to escape. Now, with them having 4 heroes, maybe this is going to be enough for a fight, but you are going to be against the Mega Creeps in just a second. There it is. The range axis falls. WS going forward. Going to be spread spreading out the goo, getting those minus armor out. Mikoto, he thought he was strong, and then the Medusa just went forward. The E-Blade is going to be stopping him from attacking, but it doesn't matter because they still have a Tidehunter who's going to be doing the same. So Blink forward, wants to get the kill. At least the Beastmaster is out with the Blink. Akashi now going to be focusing on the TA with the Scotty. There is no contest between the two of them. Where's the vision with the Anchor Smash? They're going to get Natsumi lower, and he cannot blink out. In a second, he's going to be able to do it. Gets the Melt Strike off before getting himself away. Jokem onto the Fountain he goes, and the Fountain Strike ends his life. They also brought down Akashi. They're going to be looking towards the rest of them. Talon, the only thing they can do right now is accept defeat. It is going to be Talon in the lower bracket. Essence, 3 games in a row in control, and they will be winning series 3-3.